What's up guys, and welcome to another Acura Integra Type S. This is the second one I'll have ever driven. The first one, of course, being my own. This one is modified as well. The owner, Chris, has done a few key things to improve the overall performance. He does track this car as well as daily drive it. So the use case is actually very similar to my own, but the mods are a little bit different. He has kept the stock suspension, the stock adaptive dampers, but he's installed some evasive lower ball joints for more camber adjustment at the front. He's currently at 3.5 degrees of negative camber. He does plan to install a set of Swift lowering springs, but at the moment, stock suspension is working pretty well for him. In terms of wheels and tires, we have the 18 by 9.5 plus 44 Volk CE28Ns finished in mag blue, my favorite color for Volks. And these wheels are wrapped in 275/35/18 Bridgestone RE71 RS, an extremely sticky track compound that can still be used on the street. This one is white with the red and black Alcantara seats. Very, very nice spec. Actually, I wouldn't mind this spec at all. I'd be super happy with this color combo. It looks fantastic. But let's get on to the really important mod that I want to test out today, which is the Hondata Tune, to gain some power and torque. He took out the stock ECU, sent it to Hondata to jailbreak, or essentially unlock it. They shipped it back, he reinstalled it. He also ordered the $800 Hondata unit, which hooks up via OBD2. Here are the numbers that he ended up getting. Let me pull up his dyno picture here. He gained 29 wheel horsepower and over 25 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. The stock dyno result was 288 wheel horsepower. He's now pushing out 317 horsepower at the wheels. So the question is, for almost $2,000, let's call it anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000, depending on how much your local tuner costs. No exhaust, no intake, nothing. Just a pure ECU software tune. Is it worth it? Can you feel the difference on a canyon road? And does it come with any downsides in terms of drivability? That's what we're going to find out. So we're going to throw this into individual mode, engine Sport Plus. So how it works with the tune is, with the engine in Sport Plus or Sport mode, you get the extra 30 horsepower. With the engine in comfort mode, you just have the stock tune. We'll also have steering in Sport. For suspension, we'll back it off into Sport, not Sport Plus, because the road is pretty damp today. Let's see how this car performs now with an extra 30 horsepower. Oh my God. It just blew the tires right off. Now I know these RE71 RS tires, they need a little bit more heat in them, so let's warm them up a bit before we go too crazy. Oh my God, that's fast. That is a very noticeable difference over stock. Wow, second gear. This is a torque monster now. I thought the stock engine was already very torquey in the mid-range, but this just has almost too much torque. At least for canyon driving. Woo! This is so impressive. And you know what? I haven't driven my car on stock suspension for quite some time now. But the stock suspension is still one of the highlights of this car for me. Whether you have it in Sport, Sport Plus, or even Comfort, the damping quality feels just it's so well tuned. And because the difference in damping between the three modes is so noticeable, you can really choose the damping setting that fits the type of surface that you're driving on. Today we have it in Sport, and it feels fantastic. First gear pull, we'll just roll into it from 5 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. Oh, wow. This car is so fast. So fast. 317 wheel horsepower. Front wheel drive. The stock diff does a good job. It seems like it's holding up pretty well to this power level. But I will say there is increased torque steer now. It's noticeable. The stock Integra Type S already had a little bit of torque steer. I know Acura and Honda will go on and on about the dual axis front suspension that supposedly eliminates torque steer. Absolutely does make torque steer minimal in stock form, but definitely not eliminated. But with an extra 30 horsepower and over 25 foot-pounds at the wheels, torque steer is back in full force, baby. Still nothing like an old Mazda Speed 3, the way that steering wheel just wanted to rip itself out of your hands, but this definitely requires a little bit more finesse with your throttle inputs now. Still fantastic in the corners, good steering feel. Oh, wow. With 3.5 degrees of negative camber up front on stock suspension and these RE71 RS tires, this car feels so damn good. It's a little bit more of a handful, yes, but the performance envelope has been dramatically increased over stock. I can't wait to get my car on track now, since now I have the white line lower ball joints. They're equivalent to the evasive ball joints, and I'm at negative 3.1 camber, so I didn't get quite as much. I could have gone one more step further on the ball joint adjustments. There's 3 different holes you can set them to. I went with the middle setting. The most aggressive setting supposedly would get me an extra 1 degree, so minus 4.1 degrees. That just seems like too much static negative camber for a car that is meant to be primarily a daily driver. Oh my, the grip level. There is no understeer with this car now on turn-in. The only way you can get it to understeer at canyon speeds is to give it too much throttle coming out of a corner. And that's because you're just asking too much of the front tires. This is just such a great platform. I mean, the stock engine was already so capable and well matched to the chassis, but this is proof that an extra 30 horsepower and 25 or so pound-feet do not make this car undrivable, not by any means. A little bit more torque steer, yes, but it's manageable. It remains to be seen how this will hold up with a tune at a hot summer track day. I think this season, this upcoming 2024 season, will be the first time that owners really get to test that, myself included, so we'll see how it does. Before we wrap this up, one more straight line pull, and I will try to put some footage of my stock Integra Type S side by side with this so we can see if there's any noticeable improvement in acceleration. We'll just roll into it, first gear. First gear is basically useless now. I'm just reminded what a fantastic car this is. It is the best front wheel drive car I have ever driven. Is it the most fun and most raw? No, that title still goes to either the DC2 Integra Type R or the Mini Cooper JCW GP2, but this is fantastic. The performance that you're able to extract from a front wheel drive car with just a couple of basic mods is pretty outrageous. So is the Hondata tune worth it for around $1,800? Call it $1,500 to $2,000. If you want that extra shove and if you're chasing lap times, then I think yes. I think the stock chassis, the stock diff, stock suspension even, with some sticky tires and good brake pads, can handle this level of horsepower, close to 320 at the wheels. Remember, these are rated at 320 at the crank when stuck. So a big shout out to Chris for letting me review his Integra Type S. Really excited to see what he's able to do with this car on track as well. He's a very capable driver. I'll link his Instagram in the video description if you want to give him a follow. More to come with this car, more to come with my car. It's going to be an exciting year for Integra Type S modding. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.